ॐ नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। We have completed Shloka 13. Now we'll go through the Sambandha of next Shloka, Shloka 14. Yadyapi Atma Vinasha Nimittah मोहो न संभवति नित्य आत्मेति विजानतः तथापि शीतोष्ण सुख दुःख प्राप्ति निमित्तः मोहो लौकिको दृश्यते सुख वियोग निमित्तः दुःख संयोग निमित्तश्च शोकः इत्येतत् अर्जुनस्य वचनम् आशंक्य आह। आत्मा is nityaha. This idea was conveyed in previous two shlokas. Therefore, on account of the perishability of Atma, there is no room for shoka and moha. If one understands the eternal, imperishable nature of the Atma, yet Arjuna might get a doubt. Though Atma is eternal, and we don't have grief for the Atma, yet there is pleasure and pain. Sukha and dukkha. On account of various experiences that we undergo in our day-to-day life, on account of pleasure and pain, there will be shoka and moha. What to do about them? In spite of Atma being eternal, there are pleasures and pains. So, Bhashyakara presents this possible doubt of Arjuna as a connection to following shloka, Shloka 14. Yadyapi, though Nitya Atma iti vijanataha. One who has understood that Atma is Nityaha. Nitya Atma iti vijanataha. Atma vinasha nimittaha mohaha na sambhavati. He will not have moha. We have included shoka also. Without shoka, moha does not happen. So shoka and moha. Atma vinasha nimittaha, caused by vinasha of the Atma, destruction of the Atma. My relatives will die, they will perish because of this shoka, and then moha. It won't happen if one knows that the Atma is eternal. Tathapi, in spite of that, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Prapti Nimittaha Mohaha. Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Prapti Nimittaha. Because of Shita, Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha, Prapti, the arrival of these, the experience of these, Shita, cold, winter, Ushna, summer, heat, creates problem, because Shita and Ushna, they produce Sukha and Dukkha. For some people, Shita may be Sukha. If AC is in 21, some people will be happy. Some people will be in trouble. So Shita and Ushna give rise to Sukha and Dukkha. And because of that, there will be mohaha. Mohaha laukiko drishyate. Laukikaha, in the world. Drishyate, it is seen. What is seen? Moha. So because of Sukha also there can be moha. Because Sukha, pleasure, gives rise to harsha, elation. So when we are elated, elation is an experience of joy in the mind. When you lose sight of the reality of life, the life is temporary, the pleasure is temporary, we lose sight of the truth, the facts of life. It happens when someone experiences everything favorable in his life. When things are favorable, everything goes as I like it, then there is an elation. I am happy. Then I start thinking life is all nice, all cozy. Then I forget the need for following the values. I lose sight of the value for values. and I commit adharma. So because of sukha, there is harsha, and harsha can cause moha. That is why sukha dukkha prapti nimitto moha. When somebody sees this, he can ask, how sukha can cause moha? Even sukha can cause moha, because sukha gives rise to harsha, and harsha is intoxicating most often. And dukkha gives rise to vishada, shoka, and then gives rise to moha, as in the case of Arjuna. Laukiko drishyate, it is seen in the world. Someone who is very happy, in great pleasure, even he does not understand what is right for him, what he is supposed to do from the standpoint of dharma. And someone who is in great sorrow, even he is bewildered as far as dharma is concerned. So moha happens with the sukha as well as dukkha. And sukha viyoga nimittaha dukkha sanyoga nimittascha shokaha. And there is shoka. When does shoka happen? Sukha viyoga nimittaha shokaha. So shoka can happen because of two reasons. Sukha viyoga nimittaha. When the sukha goes away, sukha viyoga. For a long time there was sukha, but then the sukha goes away. Sometimes it can be for a very long period of time. Everything is fine. But then all of a sudden, the prarabdha changes its course. Then the sukha is gone. This gentleman loses his wealth, he loses his health, loses his relatives. Sukha viyoga. Then shoka. Likewise, dukkha sanyoga nimittascha shokaha. Dukkha sanyoga. Some dukkha comes. So sukha viyoga and dukkha sanyoga. Both can create shoka. Ityetat Arjunasya vachanam ashankya. So there is shoka and moha caused by sukha and dukkha. In spite of Atma being eternal. What to do about it? What can I do about this sukha dukkha? Ityetat Arjunasya vachanam. This vachana, these words of Arjuna, Arjuna doesn't speak, but Krishna expects. Ashankya, expecting such a doubt from Arjuna. Aha, Bhagavan says, next shloka. Matra sparshastu kaunteya शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः तांस् तितिक्षस्व भारत। हे कौन्तेय, ओ कौन्तेय, सन ऑफ कुंती, मात्रास्पर्शाः, भाष्यकार will give two interpretations to matrasprshaah. Contact with the sense objects. Contact with the sense objects. It is a simple meaning. We will see how Shankaracharya explains later. I am giving a superficial, simple meaning. So, it means contact with the sense objects. Matrasparshaah. So, in our waking, through our life, we come in contact with many sense objects, one after another. And the sense objects are basically five: Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the five sense objects. In fact, all our inputs are in the form of these five: Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. And these are the ones which keep bothering us most often. Shabda, I am speaking to someone, he said something, the words entered my ears, it started troubling me. Just one or two words that he spoke, a few syllables, you are an idiot, he said. Idiot. How many letters are there? Shabda. The Shabda entered my ears, and I didn't sleep for the whole night. See how a simple sound produces dukkha. Sleepless night. So, interaction with others, interaction with the world, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, they keep giving us pleasure and pain. Shitoshna Sukha Dukkhadaha, they produce Shita and Ushna, heat and cold. Some objects can produce heat, some objects can produce cold, the feel of cold. So it is a sample, Shita, Ushna. There can be anything. So various forms of experiences. Shita, Ushna stand for various forms of experiences, perceptions. and ultimately they give sukha and dukkha, pleasure and pain. All forms of experiences culminate in producing pleasure and pain, sukha and dukkha. Mentally, joy and sorrow. Now, what can we do about it? Krishna says, don't worry too much about them. Agamapainaha. They come and go. They just come and go. Without bringing about any transformation in you, in the Atma. The Atma does not get affected by any experiences. They come and go. Just like various pictures come and go on the movie screen without affecting the movie screen. Sometimes there may be fire, but the screen doesn't burn. Sometimes there may be water, rain, flood, but the movie screen doesn't get wet. So, agamapainaha. They come and go. For a while they might bother. Anityaha. Since they are agamapainaha, they are anityaha, temporary. Tan titikshasva bharata. He Bharata. Tan titikshasva. Endure them. Titiksha. Practice titiksha. The Vyakhyanakaras take this as an upadesha of titiksha to Arjuna. Titikshasva, endure them. So titiksha is an important quality in a mumukshu. So cultivate titiksha. मात्रा स्पर्शा इति मात्राः आभिर्मीयन्ते शब्दादयः इति श्रोत्रादीनि इन्द्रियाणि मात्राणां स्पर्शाः शब्दादिभिः संयोगाः ते शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः शीतम् उष्णं सुखं दुःखं च प्रयच्छन्ति इति. So, matra sparshaha. Bhashyakara derives this word in two ways. Same samasa is derived in two ways. Matraha. First he gives the meaning of matraha. Matra does not mean one matra, two matra, three matra in Sanskrit class. Not that matra. Abhirmiyante shabdadayah iti matraha. Miyante, known. So, miyante means known. Abhihi, by these. Karanavyutpatti. Miyante abhihi iti matraha. That by means of which we know certain objects. Shabdadayah, shabda, etc. The objects, shabda and so on, are known by means of what? It is called matra. So it is a derivation of matra. So what does it mean? Shotradini indriyani. Indriyas are called matraha. Because through indriyas, through senses, we know the objects. We perceive the objects. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. So, Shotradini. Indriyas are Shotra and so on. Shotra, Tvak, Chakshuhu, Jihva, Ghrana. 5 senses. All 5 are called matraha. Matranam sparshaha. Their sparsha. Sparsha means sanyoga, contact with the sense objects. Shabdadibhihi sanyogaha, sanyogaha. Their contacts with various objects, shabda and so on. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. Each sense has its own object. Shotranam vishayaha shabdaha. Te matra sparshaha. So matranam sparshaha, matra sparshaha. The contact of matras, the contact of senses with the objects. Vishaya indriya sanyoga. Vishaya indriya sanyoga is called matra sparsha. They result in Shita, Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha. Shitoshna, Sukha, Dukkhadaha. They give rise to Shita, Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha. Shitam, Ushnam, Sukham, Dukkhancha prayachanti. Prayachanti. They give. They bring about the experience of Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. Therefore, they are called Shitoshna, Sukha, Dukkhadaha. So, this is one derivation of Matra Sparshaha. Now, another derivation of Matra Sparshaha. Athava Sprashyante iti Sparshaha Vishayaha Shabdadayaha Matrascha Sparshascha Shitoshna Sukha Dukkhadaha. Athava, or there is another possible derivation of Matra Sparshaha. Matrascha Sparshascha. matra sparshaha. In this, sparsha should be understood differently. Matra meaning will remain the same. Matra means senses. Miyante abhihi iti matraha. But sparshaha is derived differently. In the previous derivation, in the previous meaning, sparsha means touch, means contact. Sparshanam sparshaha, bhava vyutpatti. It was the previous meaning. In this second interpretation, sprishyante iti sparshaha, karma vyutpatti. That which is touched is called sparsha. That which is touched, contacted by the senses is called sparsha. Object of contact, meaning the very objects. Sprishyante iti sparshaha. Sprishyante, the ones that are touched, contacted by the senses, are called sparshaha. What are they? Shabdadayaha vishayaha. Various objects, shabda and so on. So, shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, they are called sparshaha. Matrascha sparshascha matra sparshaha. So this is in the second derivation of matra sparshaha, not matranam sparshaha. Matranam sparshaha was a shashti tatpurusha, the contact of the senses. Shashti tatpurusha, like yesterday. Now it is a different samasa. Matrascha sparshascha matra sparshaha. Dvandva samasa. The senses as well as the objects. Indriyas as well as vishayas. Collectively called matra sparshaha. Shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha. They give rise to Shita, Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha. Both senses and objects, when they come together, they produce Shita, Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha. Now why Bhashyakara has to say why Krishna has to say Sukha and Dukkha? He could have just said Shita and Ushna. Then Bhashyakara gives the explanation why he had to say Sukha and Dukkha in addition to Shita and Ushna. Why he did not just say Shitoshnadaha. Shitam kadachit sukham kadachit dukkham tatha ushnam api aniyata rupam sukha dukkhe punah niyata rupe yataha न व्यभिचरतः अतः ताभ्यां पृथक् शीतोष्णयोर्ग्रहणम्. शीतं कदाचित् सुखम. शीता, cold, is kadachit sukham. Sometimes it is sukha, it is pleasure, it gives pleasure. And kadachit dukkham, sometimes it gives pain. Tatha ushnam api aniyata rupam. So Shita is not always pleasure. In summer, if someone gives a cool drink or ice cream, one can enjoy. But in winter, peak winter, one does not want a cool drink, cold, chilled Pepsi or Coca-Cola. One doesn't want. Then you want something hot. So, Shita is Aniyata Rupa. It is not always pleasure. Sometimes it may be pleasurable. Sometimes the same Shita will be dukkha. Therefore, Shita is Aniyata Rupa, not fixed in nature, not uniform in nature as far as my liking is concerned. Whether it is favorable to me or not, it keeps changing. Likewise, tatha ushnam api aniyata rupam. Likewise, even ushna is aniyata rupa, not always favorable. Sometimes heat is favorable, sometimes it is adverse, unfavorable. Sometimes anukula, sometimes pratikula. Anukula means favorable, pratikula means unfavorable, adverse. But it is not so with the sukha and dukkha. Sukha dukkhe punarniyata rupe. Punaha means on the other hand. Unlike Shita and Ushna, the avyaya punaha also has different meanings depending on the context. So here punaha means unlike Shita and Ushna. Sukha dukkhe niyata rupe. Sukha and dukkha are niyata rupa. They are uniform in nature as far as favorability or unfavorability is concerned. Sukha is always favorable. We always want sukha. It's not that in winter I will say I don't want sukha. In summer I want sukha, in winter I don't want sukha. All seasons I want sukha. So it is niyata rupa. Likewise, dukkha also is niyata rupa. It is always unfavorable. At no point of time I will choose to have dukkha. Yataha na vyabhicharataha. So why they are niyata rupa? Because they do not change as far as their favorability is concerned. Ataha ताभ्याम पृथक शीतोष्णयोर्ग्रहणम। अतः therefore, since sukha and dukkha are niyata rupa, they are uniform in their favorability and unfavorability. Therefore, ताभ्याम पृथक शीतोष्णयोर्ग्रहणम। ताभ्याम means ताभ्याम means sukha dukkhabhyam, पृथक differently, शीतोष्णयोर्ग्रहणम, Shita and Ushna are mentioned. So there are various experiences. The sense perception generates various forms of experiences, and sometimes they may give sukha and thereby they become favorable, and sometimes they give dukkha and be unfavorable. So their favorableness or unfavorableness also keeps changing, depending on whether they give sukha or dukkha. So there is a lot of variations as far as the sense experiences are concerned. Even their nature varies, and whether they are favorable to me or not, even that varies. Therefore, they are not constant. Yasmate matra sparshadayah agamapainah आगमापायशीलाः तस्मात् अनित्याः अतः तान् शीतोष्णादीन् तितिक्षस्व प्रसहस्व तेषु हर्षं विषादञ्च मा कार्षीः इत्यर्थः। यस्मात् ते मात्रास्पर्शादयः आगमापायिनः। यस्मात्, since, ते मात्रास्पर्शादयः, ते, those matrasparshadayah, the sense contact with the sense objects. Agamapainah, they come and go. Agamapaya shilaha, agamapainah is equal to agamapaya shilaha. They have the nature of coming and going. Shila means they have the nature. By nature, they come and go. Coming and going is their nature. They never remain forever. So you don't have to have a fear about them. So when a guest comes, sometimes there may be a fear. How long is he going to stay? Is he going to stay forever, or he will go in a day or two, or a long time, 1 month? Generally, we don't ask a guest, when will you go? We don't ask. That is our, our tradition. So, in the houses, if someone comes, so first you ask, when will you go? So, you don't know when he is going. So, you get a fear. Oh, will he stay for a long time? If he is a troubling person. But you don't have to be scared of Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha, because they are temporary guests. They will come and go after a while. Agamapaya Shilaha Tasmat Anityaha. Therefore they are Anityaha. They are temporary. Ataha. Therefore, since they are temporary, without fear of them being permanent guests, Tan Shitoshnadin Titikshaswa. Tan Shitoshnadin, the Shitoshna, Sukha Dukkha and so on. Titikshaswa is equal to Prasahaswa. Endure them. Put up with them. Teshu harsham vishadanchama karshihi ityarthaha. So when they come, do not have harsha and vishada. Harsha means elation. When there is a pleasure, things are favorable, there is a harsha, elation. So I get too much happy that I don't even think of being in touch with the reality. It is harsha. So when any happiness comes, when things become favorable, we should also remember that it is my punya is fructifying now. I had some punya and it is fructifying now. And it can go any moment. We have to keep ourselves in touch with the reality, the truth of the favorability, the favorable situation in life. So then there is no harsha. Then you retain your balance. But when I don't do it, there is harsha. I am carried away by the happiness, bloated by the happiness, by the pleasure, bloated by the pleasurable moment of life. And when there is harsha, most often I don't consider what I am supposed to do. Now everything is fine. Why I should follow the values? Why I should follow the dharma? This idea comes into my mind. Then I compromise with the values. So it is an intoxication caused by pleasurable, favorable moments of life. So harsha is an intoxication that we have to be careful about. So harsha creates moha. So because of the harsha, I can become arrogant, I can become stubborn, I violate dharma, I don't do what I am supposed to do. So harsha leads to moha. And then after a while everything falls apart because my punya has come to an end. There is a story of Nahusha, Yayati's father. He went to Swarga because Indra had gone somewhere. Because of some other reason, Indra had to shift from Swarga to another place. Then they wanted another person who could rule the kingdom of Swarga. So who is eligible? So some eligible king should be there who can be the king of Swarga. So they brought Nahusha. Nahusha has done almost equal punya as Indra. So they brought him. But Nahusha, earlier he was a great king. He did lot of punya, lot of yajna, lot of dana. But when he came to the position of Indra, he was in great pleasure. All enjoyment. He is the king of Devatas. Then he became arrogant, started troubling everyone, all the rishis, and he asked all the Saptarishis to carry him on a palanquin. All of you will be my palanquin bearers. So they lifted him, Saptarishis. And then there was one short rishi, Kashyapa. He was also carrying. Then he was not fast enough. So one person was short, another was tall. Saptarishis don't have the same size. Perhaps I have not seen. So he kicked one of the rishis, I think Kashyapa. He kicked. And he said, Sarpa, Sarpa. Sarpa means move fast, move fast. When he said that and kicked the rishi, so this is harsha. Because of harsha, he has forgotten what is right and what is wrong. Then immediately all his punya was lost. And he fell down on the earth, losing all the kingdom. And he became a snake, Sarpa. Because he told Sarpa, Sarpa. So that is harsha. So when things are favorable, it is because of our punya. We should remember and not to get elated too much, not to get bloated up with the conducive situation. Likewise, Vishadamma Karshihi, when the things are adverse, when the situation is adverse, don't have Vishada, don't get into depression with the understanding that this will all pass after a while. It is temporary. So harsham vishadancha ma karshihi. Do not get into harsha and vishada. With this understanding, the understanding of his temporary nature helps in avoiding harsha and vishada. Being aware of their temporary nature enables us to be free from harsha and vishada. Ityarthaha. This is the purport of this sloka. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.